Hey guys, so let's dive a little bit into how to increase your profits by getting more leads and how we can focus on doing that. There's a couple different things we're gonna discuss really, and the biggest question I get was like, okay, well, who's this for? Obviously, if you're a business owner or someone who makes money with products and services, you probably need to listen. You probably need to take notes and actually implement this. I can't stand when people do trainings. They're like, oh, I read this book, I watched this video. Okay, well, what have you done? What have you implemented? And they're like, oh, nothing. Okay, well, it's fucking useless to do that, right? So if you're not sure what a lead is, it's obviously an individual who has expressed an interest in whatever you're selling. That's how you're going to increase your profits, by increasing, leads and making sure the right type of people are coming in. The good news for obviously all of us that run businesses, the way that we've gotten leads over the last 10 to 20 years has absolutely changed, and it consistently continues to change. We're in a market now where you can drum up your own leads and not be just stuck with always talking to marketing agencies. So that's why I do this training, because you should be able to get your own leads, take these trainings and actually implement them without having to pay me a dime. And that's really the biggest intention of all this stuff. So we can use social media. We can use Facebook ads, Google pay-per-click. We can use the network that we have with organic marketing and be able to get more traffic. And that's one of my main things. I use a lot of organic traffic to generate a business. Like this month is our biggest month we've ever had. I thought last month was going to be one of our biggest months, and we've already doubled that. It's just insane, but it's mostly because of the right type of marketing and the right type of leads and the right type of people that we're dealing with. All right, so tip number one is most people do not understand where the target market is hanging out online. And that's a huge thing. You can't get more leads and increase your profit if you aren't actually marketing to the right people or where they're hanging out at. So if you're on Pinterest marketing financial services, it's probably not getting to the right people. And you can waste all the time, all the money. You may get a couple leads, a couple clients coming in, but if you're not marketing the right place, then you're not going to have success with your marketing at all, or at least getting the right types of leads coming in. Believe it or not, most people don't actually take the time, and that's what I talk about a lot. Now, whenever they're opening up a new business, they just start a random ass marketing campaign and just blasting things out everywhere. In fact, many of them just fire off a couple Facebook ads or Google pay-per-click ads and hope for the best. Remember, if you are marketing to everybody, you're marketing to nobody. And that's why I've told multiple times that people are like, well, I'm like, what are you marketing to? Or who's your target audience? Just anybody who likes X product or service. Like, that's not very helpful at all, right? So if I'm going to work with somebody when it comes down to my marketing, they're wanting us to get more leads using social media or Facebook ads or whatever, then I would absolutely ask them some questions about their business so I could see who their target market is going to be. Some of the questions you can ask and even ask yourself is, what problems are you solving? What does your product or service solve? Okay, so you can go ahead and comment whatever industry you're in and what problems you solve. It would be a great way to communicate with that. And you can go ahead and do that in the comments here on YouTube, wherever you're at. But when it comes down to who you're actually marketing to, you have to know what problems you're solving, what demographic you're typically solving. That's going to be the age, sex, location, like old school ASL, right? Like Yahoo and stuff. Age, sex, location. If you guys remember that, if you're old enough, I know some of you young bucks on here. But whenever it comes down to the marketing, you have to make sure that you are going after the right type of demographics. If you're selling women's clothing, but you're just putting it on Facebook, 18 to 65-year-old, anybody in the United States or all over the world, that's not going to help. That's going to, you're going to waste ad spend advertising to men or maybe people who aren't wearing active wear if you're advertising that. So you got to think about the right types of people in the right market that you're at and the right platforms that they're going to be in front of. I've had some people say, should I do Google ads? I don't know. You gotta search and look. You can do some research with Google and see how many people are actually searching for products and services of yours. Service-based companies tend to do really well, like our HVAC clients. They do really well with certain keywords on Google, but they may not do as well in Facebook because maybe some people are not on Facebook right then and there looking for a new HVAC system, right? So you have to know exactly where your people are at. Tip number two, focusing on the wrong platforms. Again, knowing where your people are at, and then knowing on the second tip is knowing that you shouldn't be focusing on the wrong or being on the wrong platforms. There's some people who do business and marketing and other stuff, and they use TikTok for their marketing services. That's not where I want to be at because there's my demographic is on TikTok, but being on the wrong platform is meaning I'm wasting time being on that platform. and I've tried it, done it. It's just not what I like. I don't enjoy it, not passionate about it. I make all my money mostly through Facebook and Instagram, right? So I want to be where my people are at, being on the right platforms versus the wrong ones. When somebody starts out, they might obviously be focused mainly on Facebook, which is a great place to be, or Instagram or YouTube. And it's also important to remember that advertising on these platforms is not equal. Especially, that's kind of the big thing when you're on this tip too, is you're focusing on the wrong platforms when it comes to ads. And you're spending money in areas that maybe don't need to be spent on, right? So again, just knowing the right types of places. So knowing how these different platforms work with their advertisement is huge. Some are going to work out well for businesses, some may not. The biggest thing you have to focus on is testing. Maybe you're like, okay, well, I do want to try YouTube ads. Well, research, learn a little bit more, and test it out. Do multiple ads, put multiple things out there, see what's working, what's not. If you put $1,000 into it and nothing's worked, a couple things may be off, and some of these tips will cover that, but you at least know, hey, this wasn't really what I didn't have success with it, right? So you're going to discover that some are really good for you and just some aren't worth your effort for what your products and services are. So obviously it's important to take time to find out which ones are going to funnel traffic back to you to generate the right types of leads on your website, and obviously converting those leads to sales, which is going to increase your profits. Number 3, not being aware of how many visitors are converting into leads. Most people just put shit up and they don't track analytics. Analytics is a very important part. It's one thing I covered in my social media mastery class, is that whenever you deal with analytics, you can see what's working, what's not working. A lot of times, like, well, why aren't your ads working? They're like, I don't know. Well, what's your analytics? I don't even know what the hell that is. It's like, okay, well, geez, right? There's literally hundreds of tools out there that can help you track any of your analytics. And most of the times, what I tend to use is Google Analytics and Facebook Pixel. And if you're on Twitter, you can use like the Twitter audience part. I'm not on Twitter. It's not where I'm functioning at the most. But there's many insights amongst other things you can look at to find out how many people are coming to your site and how many people are converting to appointments or leads or downloading stuff. Like, you should be looking at that. With your ads, you should see how many people are seeing your ads, how many are taking action on the ads, and how many people become leads. Like, there's an entire funnel. Again, funnels are great if you follow the numbers. You have to know exactly where it's at, because if you have a ton of people clicking on your ads but no leads, there's probably something wrong with your offer, or there's something wrong with your landing page. So looking out for that is a big thing. If we look at a lot of the free reports that are out there, we can see how many visitors we had, check out which products, which blogs they've looked at, what interests them. Maybe there's certain things that is hitting more that we can duplicate and create more of. As we can all see, visitors are acting on our website. Let's say if they sign up for an ebook, maybe the ebook has done really well and you swap it out and you want to offer another ebook. And this is one thing I've personally done. Have one ebook that's phenomenal, was getting 2 to 3 leads a day on it, and we switch it up and now it gets really nothing. So we're switching it back. But that's the whole point, is that we can test these different things and see what's going to work, what gets people's attention and what doesn't. So just knowing what they're doing, you can, again, learn from this. Tip 4, focus on awareness rather than reach. Now, I talk about awareness, and awareness is basically like brand awareness, where you're saying, hey, here's who we are, here's what we do, here's how we help families. That is a great way to do it. But oftentimes, too many people are just so scared of trying to get leads on social media that all they do is just awareness. So the biggest thing is that most people think that, awareness is better than generating leads, and it's obviously not, because you can produce all the awareness shit in the world, but it doesn't make you money. The way that you get people to you is to convert them to leads. So the more leads you have coming through your business, the higher chance you are making more money. It just comes down to that. That's why I want to emphasize starting first and foremost with your target market and have a very clear idea of who they are that you're helping, what problems you solve, what their life could look like if they actually do business with you. And that way you're focusing on the right people to send to your website that are more likely to convert. And again, I talked about this before, but our third pillar is utilizing lead magnets and ebooks, giving something away for free for people. And if you don't have an ebook, we definitely need a chat. You can say ebook and I'll shoot you a DM to talk a little bit more about that. But this is going to help build up a list of prospects that you can put in your email generation list, where you're emailing them and you're building up and you're nurturing your clients appropriately. And it's obviously very difficult to increase your revenue if you don't have any leads coming in. If you are just saying, hey, I'm not gonna try to get people to become leads because I don't want to be that typical person. Like, the typical person you're trying to replicate is probably broke. So that's one of the biggest things that you have to focus on. Hey, Nikki, I see you're on there. Just checking comments. I really appreciate you being on here. Thank you. So again, make sure you're focusing on the leads and you're getting more leads coming in, and not just focusing on the awareness side. Tip 5, I got 5 tips and I do have a bonus coming up for you. It's a very important bonus. So the next mistake is not doing enough research. This is one area that I really wish, like if business owners could do more research on what they're going to do with their marketing strategies, they'd be a lot further along, right? And again, that comes down to the target audience, comes down to the platforms, it comes down to the offer, it comes down to what ad creatives work, what don't. They just put shit out there and then they're like, oh, it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work. Well, truthfully, it's because you're not spending enough time researching, or the other part is you're not spending enough time learning. Like I've offered courses, I've offered ebooks and everything on my sites and everything. And a lot of people download them. We've had hundreds of people download or enroll in the courses. And then I look at what is actually being done when I talk to someone, like, hey, I want some help. I'm okay, well, have you done this? You paid for this course. So before coming to me, I want to know, did you complete it? Typically, they don't less than 5 to 10% of it. And it comes down to people don't want to do their own research. They don't want to do their own learning. So you can go ahead and launch a campaign without checking Facebook or Google Analytics or anything, and you might get lucky. Everything may work out well for you, but it's totally a waste of time and money if it doesn't. And again, relying on luck for your business is one thing that's going to get you left behind, right? So if we're serious about our business, we need to make sure that we know exactly who our market is, who we're going after. We need to know the right steps we need to take. And it's obviously like, without the right type of research or right idea of what you're doing, it's like going into a dark room without any light and trying to wander around. You may or may not find the exit. You may or may not find what you're looking for. And it's pretty difficult if you've ever been in a pitch black unknown area to find anything at all, right? So make sure that you do the research and you get some extra training so you can at least be also an aware consumer if you do hire someone for your services. We had someone in our RTA group earlier say, hey, I'm considering outsourcing SEO services at some point, but I want to learn the basics so I'm at least informed of what's going on. And that's phenomenal. That's what you want. You want people to be informed with what's going on. All right, bonus tip 6. The biggest mistake that people make is if they don't have the right offer. It doesn't resonate with the market because, again, now you have a great target audience. You know who you're going after, but your offer just sucks. And one thing I've seen, and I talked about this before in my clients only group, actually today. Now, one of the things I talked about is that most times I see new businesses, they start off with discounts. And that's not the best way to start your business, is already starting off discounts. The reason why, because if you start off, and this is for small businesses, okay? I know Nike and all these other people can get away with discounts all the time, but if you're a new business getting started off saying, hey, I'm gonna give you a 25% off launch rate for my new business, that ain't doing shit. All that's doing is taking 25% out of your damn pocket, right? So what you need to do is have a better offer with the price and value that's driven in it. Your offer is typically going to lack the number one thing, and again, that's value. So what value are you providing for people? Instead of saying, hey, I'm giving you 25% off, be like, hey, I'm going to give you more value of X. I'm going to do this. I have an exterior services cleaning company. Instead of giving a discount, which you can give a discount if you have it set up right, and there's ways, that's a whole other pricing structure, that's a whole other conversation. But typically, again, new businesses, instead of just saying, yeah, I'm going to just give discounts, we're just going to do this, what you need to do is say, hey, my services are $499. We offer pressure washing, house washing, and this is it, right? You list everything that you're stacking in there as individual value. And like, hey, we pressure wash your house. Okay, what does that mean? What's included in it? We include this solution, this amount of value. We're including this. We include your sidewalk. We include cleaning out your gutters, right? Breaking down your offer and the package of everything and then just stacking it there and then saying, hey, here's what you get. And plus, instead of us saying 25% off plus, you act now, we're going to give you a free, gutter cleaning or whatever, right? Are you really reducing down the price? No, because that's probably what you do already anyways. And you can just create more value and people will pay more money. So when you start creating the right type of value, you don't need to offer discounts and you can start charging more for your products and services. And even if you have a free service, you're like, well, I don't charge anything for it. You should still be breaking all the shit you do down inside of it. So anyways, guys, let's go ahead and review Do, Join, Go. Review these tips and watch the free trainings that you have with YouTube. If you're inside this group, you can watch all these videos we have with tons of hours of it. Working these 6 tips to obviously get more leads, get more people coming in, increase your profit. Join my free group. You guys are obviously in it. If you're watching on YouTube, you go ahead and click the link down there as well. Join the free group. And go to my website, yourbmp.com, and get your free consultation scheduled. You can at least have 15-minute conversation for free, no sales pitches or anything. You just tell me what problems you have, and I can give you some solutions for you to solve that. So anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed today, and I will see you next week.